Hi, it's Stephanie from Our Natural Wisdom. So good to join you again for my weekly Instagram lives, all about reclaiming your peace through nature. And that's what I do, that's what I help women with, especially women who are anxious, who struggle with perfectionism, and recognize that those things are really affecting the quality of your life and your mental health and emotional well-being. So that's what I love to help women with. I'm a coach and a teacher, and these weekly lives are just a little bit of a taste of the type of work that I do. So thanks again for joining. Hi, thanks for joining. So today I wanted to touch on the power of awe. The power of awe. It's something that I talk about a lot with respect to experiencing nature because it can bring about such a feeling of just wow, wonderment and awe and just all of the amazement that we can experience when we are allowing ourselves to really see and be present with Mother Earth, because there's nothing like that, really. It's just such a grounding feeling, and it's powerful for us because it can reduce our stress levels. It can help us shift our perspectives and step out of the time that feels anxious. And our anxiety lives in the future. So the more we can come back to the present and experience the fullness of the present moment, the more we can relieve our anxiety. Even in a few moments, it can make such a difference. So today there's just a couple of things I wanted to talk about with respect to that. And one of them is these beautiful flowers that we have blooming in our yard right now. You might know that I am an avid native gardener. I love talking about native plants and native flowers and everything that they bring to our lives in terms of restoring the flow of life force energy around our home and within our life, being able to step out your door and experience the joy and the awe of a beautiful flowering native garden is quite something. And today we have these beautiful Royal Catchfly that are blooming. These are a rare plant for the Midwestern landscape in terms of a native plant because they're one of the few red plants that we have. This is not cardinal flower. It's called Royal Catchfly, and it is just a beautiful plant. It comes into full bloom in July and August, and it is one of the very few plants that is pollinated by hummingbirds. So I set up here today for the video thinking that perhaps you'd get a glimpse of a hummingbird or perhaps a monarch or something else that chooses to visit our plants that are in full bloom right now. So I wanted to share that with you because they really bring about a sense of awe, especially when you just allow yourself to be with a flower. Just be with a single flower, hold it in your hand and just gaze upon it. Looking at something so small relatively in nature, relative to like a glorious sunrise or sunset, looking at something small like a flower can bring about that same level of wonder and awe that helps us so much within our daily lives. So I encourage you to consider planting more native plants and experiencing that for yourself. I also wanted to touch on an experience that I had yesterday that is an example of how awe can directly benefit your life in many ways. But I just have one example for you from yesterday, and I'm sweating. Sorry, hope you don't mind. So yesterday morning, my son had a swimming class. He's 5. He is mildly autistic, and so there's challenges associated with that. He was doing great. Then all of a sudden something snapped for him and he had to get out of the pool, and he was in a panic and I couldn't get him, regulated enough to rejoin the swimming activity. So we had to leave early, which is always a disappointment. And he was frustrated, and there was just all sorts of emotions going on. So it was kind of a rough morning. And then later on in the day, we went and checked out a new playground, a brand new playground to us that I had seen from a road, but we had never actually visited it. And I'm so glad that we did, because it's in a town that's about 20 minutes away from us. And it's this beautiful playground that was built nestled within a grove of oak trees. And it's one of those playgrounds that's all wood, there's very little metal. And it was so lovely, and it was just so fun to visit a playground like that. It was shady and cool, and the kids were having a blast. And as I was watching my son, play in the playground, I was replaying what had happened at swim class. And I do this a lot. I don't know about you, but my anxiety causes me to do a lot of, replaying things that I've done or said, and my inner critic can get so loud because I'll start picking apart all of these different things that I did, and I'll wonder, if I had acted differently or said something differently or been, more attentive, that the thing wouldn't have spun out the way that it did. So I was really in that frame of mind kind of pretty much since the swim class, honestly. And I kept going over it like, oh my gosh, why did that happen? Why did that happen? And, what could I have done differently? And as we were there within the oaks and I was watching him play, and I was just kind of chilling out with the oak trees, which I love, all of a sudden it came to me. I knew exactly what would have helped the most in that situation. And, the details of what that is it's not as important as the fact that I heard within my heart, I heard what would have been most helpful in this situation. And it was a quiet bit of advice. So I knew that it was soulful, and it was from a place of love, and it was from a place of understanding and patience. And it made me realize how just stepping out of that ruminating place that we can get ourselves into so much as anxious women, as anxious moms that are, dealing with a lot of different challenges, that allowing ourselves to be in a place in nature that feels healing, that brings about that sense of awe and wonder and joy, that it allows us to hear our soul so much more easily. It allows us to hear from guidance, our inner guidance, from a place of love and a place of understanding, not a critical place, not a logical, mental, I have to apply this technique and this tool and this thing, but to trust that we know the answers, especially when it comes to our kids, that we know what will help them the most, and that we know what will help us the most, so that we are able to handle those challenging situations with more confidence, with more of a sense of calm, and coming from a place of self-compassion as well. Regardless of what the circumstances, when we lead with love, and when we lead from a place of self-compassion, and we understand that we are going through a lot, and that there is so much happening in the world beyond that there's so much in the world that's happening beyond our control, that we can lead from the place of love and presence. And being connected with Mother Earth really allows us to do that with greater ease and with a bit of awe. And I really believe that the awe that I felt when we stepped into that oak grove, and I was just like, wow, look at these gorgeous oak trees. That sense it was like a release that I felt, a release and a grounding and a connection that enabled me to hear my soul's guidance on what will be most helpful in the future when I experience that same situation with my son. So I hope that helps, because I want more women to understand that nature is always offering us a respite of sorts, not as an escape, but in a way that brings more clarity, that allows us to filter out all of the crap that doesn't matter, that we have no control over, that allows us to quiet our inner critics, that allows us to hear our soul's guidance, and to do it in a place that feels so expansive and full of awe and wonderment. So today, I just encourage you to seek out some awe in your life, whether it's something tiny, like something little that you might find in nature, or a sunset, or a landscape, or the bark of a tree. Seek out awe and experience what it's like to hear your subtle inner voice, your loving and wise soul more easily, so that you can receive relief from anxiety and clarity in your life. So right now, I just encourage you to take some nice deep cleansing breaths and really allow this gentle teaching to settle in, to be integrated into your knowing, welcoming Mother Earth, welcoming all of your spirit guides, your guardian angels, your enlightened ancestors, welcoming their guidance to you as you seek more awe in your life and the power that exists there. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoy this kind of work and this resonates for you, then I lovingly welcome you to click the link in bio and find out about your free breakthrough session with me. I would love to help you through whatever challenges you're experiencing by helping you rediscover the power, the clarity, and the peace that you can find in deeper connection with Mother Earth. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great week. I'll see you again next Monday at 3:30 Central Time on Instagram Live. Take care. Bye-bye.